What's up, everybody? Welcome to Fresh Off the Set. Thank you for tuning in and listening. I'm David Osmond, and I am stoked to be sitting down with two guys that I've known for so many years. Highly respect, not just as friends, but also friends in the art community, musicians, performers, writers, directors. I'm here with Maclain Nelson, acclaimed director, and you've been in film and television for so many years. And then my buddy Trey Warner, not just neighbors, but also fellow musicians and performers, singers, but also you're an actor and you're doing some great projects. But you're also doing stuff together. I want to dive into that also about the music industry, the television, the film industry, where things are at. You have your finger on the pulse. Glad to have you sit down and talk a little bit further for Fresh Off the Set. So welcome you guys to our podcast studio.
Thanks for having us, man. I'm so happy we're doing this with you because I'm a fan. I'm a fanboy. Fan man.
You be the president of my fan club.
Yeah.
Taught me all my boy band moves.
Yeah, you're a great guy, man. And a lot of people speak highly. I have never heard anybody speak negatively about you.
Oh my gosh, thank you.
Thanks. You've always had something special when you walk in a room. You bring light. I love that about you. I genuinely mean that. And that's something special, man. Your parents raised you right, and
Thanks.
You're just a good dude, man.
Well, I found my new publicist. Thank you very much, Trey Warner, everybody.
Well,
that is
true.
so kind. Thank you very much.
All true.
Well,
true.
the feeling is mutual, and I mean that sincerely, not just lip service returning it, but we were just talking about this even before the mics were running about the industry, the entertainment industry. Showbiz can be the business of show. It can be smoke and mirrors. It can be fluff, and it can all be fake. Finding genuine, real people that are doing real good projects that make a significant impact and a difference. Sometimes it's hard to find, and I've always seen you guys put your heart and soul behind the projects that matter the most. And it's a small community, certainly Small Lake City we call it, but it's a worldwide audience, and that's the magic of the music industry, the film industry, how we can touch and impact lives, but it's through a story. The shortest distance between two people is a story, a really good one, and that's where you guys know how to tell it through song, through story, and on film. And I'm just anxious to dive into your history. First of all, let's start with Maclain. Dude, when did you know you wanted to be a writer and film director, and how old were you?
I was probably around 17 years old. I was in high school here, actually in Provo. I was to Timpview High School, and I was in student government, and they wanted us to make when we did I'm going way back. I'm giving you history on this one. So,
but it's great history.
They used to have us do the different sketches for the assemblies live, but they made us tape record our voices and lip sync to it. And I was like, this is not fun or funny. There's no way to be actually funny. But they wanted to do that to make sure that no one went off book and went crazy and said something, in front of the whole school, obscene. Or, They wanted to control what it was.
Exactly what it was.
So I just said, well, how about I make a movie that you can watch the movie beforehand, we make our sketches, we film them all, and we just project it so that we don't have to do this kind of cheesy, not fun thing. And they were like, oh, well, that works. The main thing is we want to be able to see it first. So we went all out. And actually, my buddy Scott Nemro was really involved with green screen and the technology. And this was 97. So it was
early adopter. Yeah.
So we put myself into Star Wars. So I was acting against a real dark Darth Vader. And we were using those lines and then writing our lines to be to do these announcements in these films. And people just went crazy for it. And I remember showing our little kind of version of Star Wars. Luke asks Leia to prom and then finds out it's his sister. And the whole audience just went crazy.
And as a director read it, you're hooked. You're
my gosh.
This is it.
To see an audience react like that, I was like, wow, this is powerful stuff. And I just started doing these sketches. And then actually on my mission, I did a mission for the Church of Jesus Christ, and I was in Philadelphia, and our day off, one friend had a camcorder, and we would make videos. We would make fun videos. We made a video at the mission president's home. I just realized, wow, I really love creating these stories and putting them together. And back then though, I feel like everyone wanted you to be either a doctor, a lawyer, or in business. It was still
respectable job.
The arts was always a fallback plan.
Yeah, so it's your side hustle, nice hobby.
Yeah, exactly. So I got back. I went to BYU. I was a pre-med. I was doing all that, and my buddy Scott said to me, he's like, "What are you doing? You got to at least." like you're so good at, you got to at least try this. And
then you started a snowball that just grew and grew. To this point, you've done so many feature films. Tell me some of the titles we might recognize. Once I Was a Beehive is one. Saratov Approach.
Yeah. Those are some of the ones that were big locally. Then I did some fun ones. I did like my homage to The Princess Bride, which is called Dudes and Dragons.
Yeah, that's Dudes and Dragons. That's right.
And a lot of these are on Amazon, and you can check them out. But yeah, I have actually a horror thriller coming out this fall. This is really fun, and I've just been and then Hallmark Channel has been amazing.
16 films for the Hallmark Channel.
16 for Hallmark. About to go do my 17th, and then I've done 5 independent features. So about to do my 22nd film as a writer.
I think this has worked out.
It's been
he's going back out to Europe.
Yes,
Dr. Nilsson, or a doctor of film, dude. You're awesome. You're fantastic and so talented in the storytelling. And Trey, just a pure talent of comedic genius. I mean, I don't want to be your publicist too much because there's so much to say about it, and we don't have enough time to give you enough accolade, by the way. I've known you for a long time, but highly respect you, not just as an individual. You're a creative genius, talent. You're funny naturally, but you're also got that music side, the musician side. Our families have always grown up in music. How did you start in your career? And then tell me about how this collaboration happened, because you kind of gotten involved in film for the last while, and it's kind of taken off for you.
I was a big sports guy, did a lot of quarterback stuff, but I was always drawn to the arts from the beginning, whether it's drawing or painting. I would watch movies and I'm like, I want to be that guy, and then I loved music. It's interesting. I'm a big rock guy, but I fell in love with music through Enya. Everybody's blown away. I would listen to that and I'm going, I feel the spirit, dude, when I listen to this. And I was just drawn to it. And then there was a Joe Jackson song, and I'm just like, I want to do this. And I did a lot of business stuff, after the mission. And I just kind of felt like this was my calling, and I had some success in the business world. And I said, let's give this a shot. And Kurt Hale, he was a director, great dude. He helped plug me in. I went and did a cold read. I didn't know what the heck that was with the agency I'm with right now, and I was horrible, but she goes, I like this guy. I made him laugh at least, and she said, I like the voice. And I feel so blessed. It's starting to kind of take off. I hope to do more, and I just really believe that people are craving for good content. They want good content. They want connection.
Yeah.
And I feel like the arts can do some unbelievably positive things, and if I could help in any way I can to bring joy into somebody's life through the arts, which I love, I feel called to do, I'm all in, man.
I know you mean that from your heart. I've seen that behind the scenes, off camera. You're that kind of guy, and that's really cool to see, and we need more of it. That leads me to kind of the project you're doing right now. It just got released a couple months ago, but it's with the Hallmark Channel.
Yes.
You're one of the stars in this, but the story behind the story, how you got reconnected and how you got found for this particular project. And it's called Missing the Boat. And it's a cool, fun story, love story, but it has a really fun twist on it. Tell me a little bit about this project, how it came about, and how this relationship started.
All right, I got to go way back again. To start with me and Trey. I'm going to go way back. So I first met Trey when he was 16 years old. He came in from Arizona, moved to the high school I went to at Timpview. Him and his brother Scott came. Yeah. They wore cool clothes. They had bleached hair. Like, we were all nerds in Provo. We had no style.
You were pegging your jeans, weave belts, Birkenstocks.
And they came in and they just changed the style of the school. I was like, who are these? We were all like, who are these guys? It was like an 80s movie. Like, they came in, became the cool.
They have their own theme music starts up when they walk in the hall.
We all bleached our hair after that. It was like, but so that's how far Trey and I go back.
Nice.
All the way to high school. I've stayed friends with his brother Scott, and
saw Scott the other day. Yeah,
exactly. So we go way, way back. I used to go to his band performance, Rated Hero. I used to listen to them, and my little brother was a big fan. So anyway, that's how far back we go.
Yeah.
But then the next chapter of it, I was at the Burbank airport and I probably hadn't seen Trey for 10 years. I knew he was kind of acting here and there, but I saw him at the airport, and he was sitting at the Burbank airport waiting for the flight. And I was like, oh, I'm going to Salt Lake. I wonder if it was there. And actually, it was kind of emotional because, strangely enough, my friend that I told you that helped get me into the film industry, Scott Nemro, he had passed away a month before that. Trey and I hadn't been able to see each other because he was good friends with him too, and we just shared this big emotional hug. Because
we cried actually, right in the middle of Burbank, people walking by, and it was a long hug. It was intense. It was comforting.
Yeah. It was, when you share that experience, you share, you know what I mean? You hadn't seen, it's like, and it was like, Scott was a big connector. He was he influenced our lives so much. And
Larger
like,
than life,
it was the first time even though we'd lost connection, Trey and I, like there was this extra bond through that. We talked as much as we could. We got on the flight when I said, hey, look, I'm driving down to Provo. Do you want to ride? So he canceled his ride and jumped in with me. And
nice.
On the way down, we were just catching up and sharing stories about Scott and life and our shared ups and downs that we've had in this art industry and in relationships and whatnot. And I just said, hey man, I've written this script. I'm about to go shoot it. And there's a part that actually the leads are cast, but there's a really strong supporting lead that has his own love, arc and everything. And I need someone that's like in my brain I was thinking like a John Hamm, that kind of alpha strong can come across jerky but in a lovable way.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
To hate him.
Exactly. And I was like, I need someone that's very lovable but can come across harsh, because he's sort of the villain in the movie. He sort of is the one that causes our main character to do something he shouldn't. I was like, look, Hallmark is a very tough business to crack into, but like I think I can give you some direction, and I don't even get to choose my cast, honestly. I get to choose like my top 4 or 5. I send in those
They get
people.
the final say, though.
They get the final say. So I said, do you mind putting yourself on tape for this?
Yeah.
And so I'll pass it to Trey to see. He'll tell you what he did.
Divine intervention is probably what pops in my head more than anything. For the little of the backstory of me, I had before I met him or saw him at the Burbank Airport, maybe a week and a half beforehand, I was engaged and we decided to break it off. And she was a beautiful woman, the best woman I have ever met. Love her to death. And that was difficult, very difficult for me. And then it would be 8 days later, I actually went to call Scott. He didn't answer. And then because I needed him. I really needed him. He was like a soul brother to me. And then I get it. I'm in my house just by myself. My mind's racing, just difficult. And I get a text and said that Scott has died. I thought it was the end, bro. And anyway, I escape. I'm like, I felt like I needed to go to California. No reason to go. And at the end of it, I bump into him at Burbank, and he says, hey, you should throw it. And he actually said, you probably won't get it, because he really won't push anything. He's got to keep, his brand. And anyway, I throw
he
in the
doesn't want to
audition.
overpromise and then underdeliver that.
Yeah. And anyway, I end up getting it, and it was so good for me, and I was so grateful, man. And to be a part of the Hallmark family, just getting a shot, showing what I could do. I'm so grateful for this guy, Maclain. I mean, you see him on set, everybody loves him, but then he also is like a captain, man. Like when he wants something, people respect it. And it's very special of what he has. Like I really love it. He's a commander out there, but he's also loved. So there's respect and love, where respect is actually that's the top thing he's got going. So you're impressive, man.
That's Thanks, cool. It's nice to be able to work with your friends and to have, you already have that bond. You can kind of work with each other in front of the lens, behind it, and make that project a huge success. And it has been so far. Audiences have loved this film, Missing the Boat.
Yes.
It came out first part of February. The screenings down in LA, also in Utah, down in Vineyard, were off the charts. People loved it. So for those that haven't seen this film, where can they go to access this, to see this project you put together? Because it is a fun story. It's a love story.
Yeah, I mean, I would say the easiest way, and what we really want to let people know about, is Hallmark Plus is the streaming service that Hallmark has. And they have all of their movies on there, and they have commercial-free movies on there, and they have their TV shows on there. And you can literally watch, when their new movies come out, and they have 2 new movies every week, you can watch them next day after they air. So Missing the Boat, you can get on Hallmark Plus. You can download the app. It's, you can put on your Apple TV or your Roku or whatever you have. You can get a 7-day trial for it for free. Yeah. And you can watch literally unlimited these movies.
And that's the beautiful thing. Like I told people, I haven't seen a lot of Hallmarks. I don't even think I've watched a full Hallmark. And I ended up getting on Hallmark Plus, and I'm going, it's good content, man. It's got all the feel good. So if somebody's listening to it, I'd say, hey, if you want some good feel goods, try 7 days. Just check it out. And I don't think you'll be let down. And it's inexpensive. Like, we could all use some good content, man.
Well, go watch Missing the Boat and then follow up with these guys on social. Follow up with us. Let us know what you guys think. And I'll leave the last word on this. The entertainment industry is constantly evolving, changing, moving. We're more connected now than ever before, and we're also more disconnected than ever before.
Yeah.
What is the future of this entertainment industry, and what do you hope to accomplish with your careers in that field?
I think as future of entertainment is interpersonal connections. It's the relationships you make. Like I said, Trey, he was so amazing. Like he's someone I search to work with because he brings it, and he brings love and joy to everything.
Thank you.
It's connecting with, it's like you David, I have you send me music for different things that I need. And it's just like you build this community. It doesn't always work out, but you're just constantly ebbing and flowing. And when someone's doing well, someone's maybe not doing so well. So you just help pull and push each other and like move forward together as like this growing artistic audience and like community.
You must have learned from Adam Sandler. He puts all his buddies in.
Yes.
He helps each other along the way. As long as it's good content.
Here's something that I got to say. Look, we were talking about this earlier, David. It's like the arts are so dang powerful. Yeah. It can go in a positive way and it can go in a negative way. And when it's all said and done with this disconnection, we are in the information age, tons of stuff going on. The arts can bring joy, and if I can be a part of bringing people close together with love, inspiration, I am all in. I'm a God guy. Whatever you believe in, a higher power, universe, if I can get behind people getting closer to that, I'm happy, man.
That's cool. We have more in common than we realize when we step down. And again, it's the shortest distance between two people is a story. Go watch this story. It's a great way to start, and we'll follow, of course, your careers closely. However we can support, we will. Thank you for taking the time to sit down with me.
Thank you.
Fresh off the
David.
set.
Yes.
Thank you, everybody, for listening. Follow us again at all places podcasts are. Share this film with your friends, and let us know what you think about Missing the Boat. Maclain, Trey, you guys are awesome. I'm so glad to call you my buddies, my friends, and we have a lot more to work together on, and thank you. Come back anytime.
Thank you, David.
Thanks, David.
All right. We'll talk to you guys soon.
Congrats, you made it to the end. If you want to continue to freshen up your day, you can watch us on Fresh Living every weekday on CBS Channel 2 in Utah at 1 o'clock. You can also watch us on our YouTube channel, KUTV Fresh Living, and follow us on social media. We will see you next week.